There's a moment in the Gospels where Jesus says something so shocking that many of his own disciples stopped following him. Not random people in the crowd, his actual disciples. People who had already been walking with him. Jesus said, "Unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you." And when they heard that, they were disturbed. They started arguing amongst themselves. How can this man give us his flesh to eat? They thought Jesus was speaking literally. And because they interpreted a spiritual message with a natural mind, many of them walked away. But Jesus explained something so crucial. And this is what people miss, because just a few verses down he explains what he means. He says, "It is the spirit who gives life. The flesh is no help at all. The words I have spoken to you are spirit and life." In other words, you're hearing the words, but you're missing the spirit behind them. Jesus wasn't telling people to physically eat his flesh. He was revealing that life comes through receiving him, through believing in him, through trusting in the sacrifice that he would give, his body and his flesh for the world. But Jesus reveals the real issue. He says, "But there are some of you who do not believe." You see, the real problem wasn't the teaching, it was belief. Some people leaned in, others walked away. And that moment still happens today. People hear something from God, but instead of seeking understanding, they judge it too quickly. And sometimes the very word that was meant to give life gets rejected because it sounded strange at first. So the question becomes this: how many people are walking away from God, not because he was wrong, but because they interpreted a spiritual word with a natural mind? I'll leave you with this. Sometimes following God means believing before you fully understand.